and welcome to Retro Gaming Swede. My name is Oskar and today I'll be showing you my latest retro gaming pickups. There's not as many of them as there tends to be, but the quality of games is amazing. As usual, we'll start with the newest stuff and move on through the generations all the way back to the Master System and NES. And in the end part of the video, we'll check out something I find absolutely hilarious. So make sure to stick with me to the end. We'll start off with a Switch game. If you know me by now, you can probably guess. Bubble Bobble for Friends. This is a really solid update to the Bubble Bobble formula with some nice graphics, solid controls and an excellent bonus. The original arcade game. Yeah! I just couldn't resist to get this game. Now that we're done with the modern stuff, we move on to the Mega Drive. And we start off strong with Swords of Vermilion. A really solid action RPG, looks great, plays great and sounds great. It's a really solid Mega Drive game. Zoop is a really crappy puzzle game. I think that's all I have to say about it. I remember there were a ton of commercials about this game on MTV back in the day. And seeing as it was published by Viacom, that sort of explains it. Next up we have the Mega Drive version of Home Alone. Not a great game in any way. I just can't figure out what I'm supposed to do. I keep getting caught by the wet bandits all the time. I also don't know how I know what house I'm supposed to go into and stuff like that. Next up we have Talmit's Adventure. This is sort of a run-of-the-mill platformer. Nothing fantastic, but absolutely not that bad either. Fun for a little while. Then you put it on the shelf and never play it again. The last Mega Drive game today is the classic Sonic the Hedgehog 2. What am I supposed to say about this masterpiece that everyone doesn't already know? It's a classic game, made before he made too many friends and attempted to get three-dimensional. The first game for the Master System is Rocky. It's a really great looking crappy boxing game. I just end up bashing the buttons and hope for the best. You're supposed to be able to do different punches like uppercuts and stuff like that, but I don't get how to do it. This is not a competitor for Punch-Out! The next game I've actually already covered. It's Enduro Racer for the Master System. This is a really solid dirt bike game, incredibly fun and really nice to look at. If you get a chance to pick this up, do it now! Next up we have probably the hardest piece of shit game I've ever played. Shadow of the Beast for the Master System. You're playing as a werewolf type character and slowly walk right, trying to hit enemies that more or less just materialize in your face. I remember this game getting pretty decent reviews on the Amiga back in the day, but the Master System version is basically impossible to play. Next up we have Ninja Gaiden! Don't confuse this game with the NES version. First of all, this game was not made by Tecmo. It was licensed by Sega and made by Sims, a developer that was founded by Sega back in the day. It's basically an entirely new game. It doesn't have anything to do with the NES game. The controls are basically the same, but now instead of getting stuck on walls and stuff, you just wall jump, and you can hold on to certain platforms from below. Awesome game. This is also one of those games that only came out in PAL territory, so no Japanese or US release for this one. The last game I picked up last month is a real classic. It also has a tendency to have a slightly higher price tag than what I like to pay for my games, but I got a decent deal of it. It's Mega Man 4 for the NES. I don't know too much about the later Mega Man games for the NES actually, but yeah, it plays like a Mega Man game. Really awesome. It's also the first game with a charge shot. So, that was all the games I picked up in May. So, what's the last thing I said I was going to show you? Can you guess? More awesome Super Mario Bros. The movie trading cards! Yeah, I actually got a hold of 4 packs this time, for dirt cheap. The guys who got the license to do this must have lost a ton of money on these. So, why don't we open one of them and see what we get? Let's see here. Yeah. Oh crap, I ruined the packaging. Oh well. So, the first card is Daniela is kidnapped. Mario watches as Daniela safely enters her apartment building, but safely isn't always safe enough. Just as Mario drives away, dimwits Spike and Iggy, mistaking Daniela for Daisy, follow her inside, and no one is there to hear Daniela's screams. Yeah. Next one is Koopa Square. No way could Mario and Luigi know that the tunnel they're traveling out of is actually a subway tunnel leading into another city. Fact is, these New York bred boys are too busy arguing to notice anything unusual. Next up we have Bertha. A vision of meanness in red leather. It's Bertha who chases off the pendant stealing old lady. That's the good news. The bad news is it's also Bertha who re-steals the pendant from the Mario boys. Then takes off, literally, in her flying footwear. Yeah, this movie wasn't that great, right? No more talk is the next card. Koopa's true sinister nature reveals itself the minute he asks Luigi and Mario for Daisy's meteorite pendant. The what? Luigi responds innocently, and Koopa, not taking the what for an answer, is ready to choke Mario. Next up we have Yoshi! If a dog is man's best friend, then Yoshi, a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex, is Daisy's. Somehow this pet from the Koopa clan seems to sense Daisy's distress over being held prisoner. Of course, he would help her get away. If only he could. Could he? The next card is a mushy landing. Propelled by the powerful forces of their flying footwear, the Mario brothers whoosh wildly into the night sky over the streets of Koopa Square. Unfortunately, they land safely right on the back of a garbage-filled sludge gulper. Yuck! The next one is Invasion. All is still not right with the world. The real world, that is. As Koopa's reptilian dimension creeps in, building by building, Goomba by Goomba, Laughing madly, Koopa wields his de-evolution gun and prepares to do his horrifying work. And the last one is sad goodbyes. It's time to return to good old New York, but Daisy has other ideas. I can't go yet, she says, explaining that her family roots are still in Koopa Square. So Luigi, along with Mario and Daniela, must bid Princess Daisy a fond farewell. So, that was my retro gaming pickups for May 2021. What do you think? Was there any real stinkers in there, or maybe some really good ones? I'm actually a real fan of Ninja Gaiden for the Master System. Anyway, if you enjoyed my content, please leave a like and subscribe to see more of these types of videos. Thanks for watching, and all I have left for you now is a very grateful goodbye.